WandaVision Episode 9 has just released on Disney Plus, and I've had a chance to watch the episode, which includes 2 post-credit scenes, a big action-packed ending, and more to break down. In particular, I'm going to be explaining the plot and ending for WandaVision Episode 9, entitled The Series Finale, in the aim to help you guys gather a greater sense of what happened. This analysis will also contain spoilers, so if you do happen to be someone who hasn't watched the finale of WandaVision Season 1, then I would recommend watching this video after you've caught up. If you want to see more videos on all of the Disney Plus Marvel shows, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a like rating. But without further ado, let's dive into my breakdown and explained video for Episode 9 of WandaVision. So, after the success of Marvel Studios' first Disney Plus show with WandaVision, we've come into this finale expecting big things and a satisfying ending to the storyline. WandaVision has definitely shown what the Marvel machine can do on the small screen, finally giving Elizabeth Olsen more to do and transforming a vibranium android into an unlikely romantic character. And this week, that all came to a head in a CGI spectacle that we've come to expect from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, combined with an emotional conclusion. Was it full of everything fans had hoped for and more? Well, perhaps not quite, and although it did what I wanted it to focus on, I did leave the show feeling like there could have been more with the emotional focus, and the mystery that has been building over the weeks had answers which I found quite disappointing. And that doesn't mean that I wanted cameos and plot twists, but the answers we got felt like they stemmed from questions that were put to the side and could have been developed more. But I must say, since they focused on Wanda and Vision's dramatic events, I was still satisfied with the main ending that concluded this chapter of their story, and it also provided some new intriguing hints of what's to come. But coming to the action, of course there was plenty of it. After last week's great flashback episode, this week continues right from that ending, with Agatha Harkness drawing out Wanda for a pitched battle in the streets of Westview. At first, Wanda keeps the upper hand with the use of throwing a car to the face, but the scales are tipped when White Vision turns up. "Oh, this is awkward. Your ex and your boyfriend together at the same party," Agatha says as the two pull Bettany's clash, speeding through the skies and phasing in and out of solid matter as both try to destroy one another. It's a true spectacle that shows just how much WandaVision has been holding back in the weeks until now, and it's really just the start of the visual feasts that this episode has to offer. Back closer to the ground though, Agatha unleashes some real pain on Wanda by releasing the residents of Westview she's been holding captive. Dottie, who we find out is actually called Sarah, pleads for her daughter to be given a role in the sitcom, even as a villain, so she can be let out of her room. Others plead for death, leading Wanda to attempt to lift the hex for them, only to be reminded what this would mean for her husband and children. Instead, she leaves the spell where it is, sending her boys to handle the military while she deals with Agatha. I do think we could have got more answers surrounding the kids, and especially Wanda's children, but to be honest, I wasn't really enthralled by their characters to begin with. I guess the family aspect was mainly there to elevate Wanda's grief. Meanwhile, Vision and White Vision halt in battle and have long discussions of Greek mythology, specifically the story of the ship of Theseus, and whether it could be called the same vessel once all the planks were removed, especially if the planks were reassembled into a new ship. Neither is the true ship. Both are the true ship, they both end up agreeing, and this is enough for White Vision to abandon his mission of destroying the Vision, as neither of them is quite the original. In turn, this leads the new Vision to let Westview Vision unlock his memories, providing a flood of footage from older Marvel movies and turning his eyes closer to something like the original. At a stroke, he shoots off into the sky, not to be seen again in this finale. Back in the main square, things are also wrapping up with the help of Monica and her handy new powers, Tommy and Billy subduing the military, while director Hayward gets taken out by Darcy in an ice cream truck. So no, he wasn't Mephisto, but he did try and shoot some preteens in the head, so still not a particularly nice guy. I do think that even though there wasn't a big reveal with Hayward, that they could have done more with all the conspiracy and mystery that they've leaned in on his character. We know he's not doing the best things, but it could have been a bigger counterbalance to Wanda, who is doing way worse. So yeah, I think they could have really done something more with this, especially after all of the previous episodes, and it just felt like they wanted to wrap up that plot point because they didn't know where to take it. And with all of these other threads snipped off, we're down to Wanda and Agatha's final clash. Wanda's Age of Ultron mind tricks don't work on her former neighbour, so Olsen's Avenger tries something else. Blasting Agatha over and over again in the sky, it appears Wanda is giving up on her chaos magic for good, but really, she's just putting some magical theory to work, drawing runes around the Westview hex that stunt Agatha's powers the way hers were in the last episode. Taking back the power, Wanda goes full Scarlet Witch in her new outfit, rewriting Agatha as a normal person, specifically her nosy neighbour character, and promising to find her again if she ends up needing her magical advice. It's a victory, but it comes at a price, with Wanda finally realising she needs to let go of the world she's created. It's time, Vision says. Shall we head home? This is something that I predicted and wanted to happen in this ending, putting the focus on Wanda having to confront her grief and let go of the past is what the show has essentially been built around, and seeing it come together in this way was to me the best part of the episode. But as the Hex unwrites behind them and they bid a difficult farewell to their boys in bed, it's hard not to feel a little emotional. Is some of the dialogue a little cheesy? Yes, like Wanda calling Vision a creation of her sadness and hope, and mostly her love. But after 9 episodes, this kind of sentiment feels earned in a way it would never on the big screen, and as Vision finally dissolves into a pattern of gold, it definitely leaves the effect. So long, darling, Vision says. Whether or not we see him again, and this will likely be through White Vision to some degree, it's hard not to admire what Paul Bettany's done over the course of this series. It's my favourite part alongside Wanda, and I just wish that we got more of the connecting satisfaction to some of the other narrative threads that were ending in a generic way. But after this farewell, Wanda wraps everything up, almost literally. Her house disappears and Westview returns to normal, and dodging the evil eye of the Westview residents, she flies off to learn more about her abilities. In a later post-credits scene, and there are 2 this week, we see her working hard on the magical Darkhold book, possibly trying to bring her boys back to life, while she also masters her powers. And back in Westview, Monica has her own tease, as a surprise scroll turns up to hint that Nick Fury has a job for her, with a suggestion that space travel could be in Monica's immediate future. Sadly, there were no such hints for fans who'd hoped to have seen Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange turn up to tease Olsen's presence in his next film, but the 2 post-credit scenes did their job in teasing what's to come. However, it's key to note that Agatha does tease that Wanda is now more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, which could be something that picks up Strange's attention in his next movie. It's clear that this film will have a more self-contained story than many had theorised. In other words, there's no multiverse to see here, and that also applies to the much theorised Quicksilver, played by Evan Peters. In this episode, he's presented as a brainwashed actor called Ralph, rather than the X-Men universe's Peter Maximoff. Given how many theories about WandaVision were rushing around, we were bound to overstretch ourselves eventually, but who knows? Maybe there's still more to learn about Peter's character in future movies, and this series was about more than Easter eggs and fan theories. But I must say that regardless of there not being a big reveal with stuff like this, I did feel dissatisfied with some of these small reveals. My question is, why would you put something in WandaVision like Evan Peters as Quicksilver or Hayward operating behind the scenes just to reveal them as generic endings? Don't get me wrong, I loved the focus on Wanda and Vision and was satisfied with their handling, but some of these other reveals just make me wonder why even create the mystery in the first place. The White Vision aspect towards Hayward is more understandable, but the whole Quicksilver thing does seem a bit silly. I didn't hate this episode at all, but it did feel like narrative points like these could have gone in a more interesting direction. But that was my brief breakdown video explaining the plot and ending for the finale of WandaVision. Overall, WandaVision has been a great advert for this new streaming age of Marvel. At a stroke, fans have seen that the big screen storytelling can be transferred to a new medium, while also offering the chance to spend more time with characters who are easily swallowed up by the large casts of the main movies. It's been a brilliant showcase for Bettany and Olsen, who've done some of their best MCU work in the last few weeks. It was a good show, and I did want some better answers to some of the more mysterious aspects of the storytelling, but I was happy that the dramatic impact of Wanda and Vision was mostly realised. We'll have to see where Marvel goes from here, but I'm hoping they can do more shows with the unique aspect that WandaVision brought in some of its episodes. I'm giving episode 9 of WandaVision an 8 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown and review, and overall, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens on the next Disney Plus Marvel show with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I will be covering on the channel. I'm also intrigued to hear all of your thoughts on episode 9, so let me know down below in the comment section. For more content on shows like WandaVision, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoy this video, remember to leave a like rating. I am covering and bringing constant updates on all of the new Marvel shows, so make sure to keep a lookout for whenever I post. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.